Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Peppo and today we are going to give a look at the new longsword builds after title update 1. Let's first give a look at the novelties of this update. Mizutsune has been added into the game and you can fight him after you reach HR 21. His longsword has 210 attack, 15% affinity, 300 water element, 60 hits in white sharpness, a level 3, level 2 and level 1 deco slot, and finally 2 equipment skills. Slicked Blade level 3 and Critical Element level 1. It is the best water longsword that you can craft because the only water longsword we had was the Udunas, which is not that great. Not to mention that Mizu longsword is probably the most stylish one in this game so far. If only Capcom gave us layered weapons already. Compared to an Artian longsword with the same attack and affinity, it has 10 points of white sharpness more, but 5 attack less. It also has a level 3 deco slot less, but has 2 equipment skills. Slicked Blade increases affinity when wet and or afflicted by Bubble Blight, which looks great if you have an easy and consistent way to get wet or getting afflicted by Bubble Blight, and Critical Element 1, which increases the elemental damage on critical hits by 7%. But except by fighting Mizutsune, how can you consistently get the Bubble Blight during a fight? Mizutsune's set bonus skill is the answer. Mizutsune's armor gives Burst, Constitution, Evade Extender, Evade Window, Aquatic Oil Silt Mobility, and Peak Performance. The only relevant skill for longsword is Burst, so the important pieces are the chest, coil, and legs. The set bonus skill activates when equipping either 2 or 4 pieces, Bubbly Dance first and Bubbly Dance second. The former prevents major Bubble Blight and increases evasion while afflicted with minor Bubble Blight, while the latter, on top of this, also triggers a minor Bubble Blight by evading many times. This is the one that we need to auto-inflict the Bubble Blight status and make use of the Slicked Blade weapon skill. You need exactly 3 rolls or 4 force lashes, or 2 rolls and 1 force lash to activate Bubbly Dance second. It lasts for 30 seconds. The wet state also lasts for 30 seconds after touching the water or the oil silt in the oil well basin. And exactly in this locale we can find many monsters weak to water, from Popolo, Ajarakan, Gravios and Nu Udra. I came up with a set with which you can easily auto-inflict the Bubble Blight and make use of the skill Slicked Blade on Mizu longsword. It uses 4 pieces of Mizu to trigger the Bubbly Dance second skill, which activates the Slicked Blade on Mizu's longsword. On the weapon we use Razor Sharp Handicraft in the level 3 deco slot, and the rest is critical boost to reach level 3. The chest, arms, coil and legs are from Mizu, and the head from Shia. These are the decorations, and these are the skills. The build can reach 90% affinity when all the skills that give affinity are active, so you need to roll or force a slash to activate Bubbly Dance second and oil silt or water to get wet. A bit niche and difficult to use, but it's the only way to make use of the Slicked Blade skill, unfortunately. Shia can now be fought again after you reach HR 50. His longsword has 220 attack, 5% affinity, 200 dragon element, 50 hits in white sharpness, a level 3, level 2 and level 1 deco slot, and finally an equipment skill, White Flame Torrent. This new weapon skill has a chance to deal additional damage after landing an attack. More specifically, the additional damage is a flat 50 that triggers on either the first, second or third attacks, with a cooldown of what seems to be about 3 seconds between each attack. However, longsword as well as other weapons have specific attacks that don't work with this skill. In particular, Spirit Blade first and second, Spirit Stab Slash, Spirit Round Slash, Spinning Crimson Slash, Yai Slash, Yai Spirit Slash, Spirit Thrust, Spirit Handbreaker, Spirit Release Slash, Focus Strike, Jumping Spirit Blade and Jumping Spirit Blade second, Aerial Spirit Blade Draw, all the attacks from the Sacred, mounting attacks and stealth attacks cannot trigger that additional 50 damage from White Flame Torrent. The only 2 common attacks that work with this skill are Crimson Slash first and Force Slash. This makes the skill a bit less frequent to activate with longsword, and depending on your playstyle it can activate more or less frequently. If we compare Shia longsword to an Artian longsword with the same attack and affinity, it has 5 attack less, 100 dragon element less, a level 3 deco slot less, but has this new skill called White Flame Torrent. The question is, can this skill alone make up for these disadvantages? Maybe, unlikely in most cases in my opinion, but it is worth trying and playing with it. It can be used to destroy hard monster parts more easily. The lower the hit zone value you are hitting, the higher will be the value of this skill. A good roll Artian longsword has to be preferred in most cases, if not always though. Shia armor gives Agitator, Counter-Strike, Recovery Speed, Coalescence and Elemental Absorption. The relevant skills for Longsword are Agitator and Counter-Strike. The set bonus skill is called Shia's Pulse and activates Super Recovery first and Super Recovery second, with respectively 2 and 4 pieces equipped. This skill allows the health gauge to continue to recover up to the max value even if there is no red portion. Can be a nice skill to have if you get some cheap damage during your hunts. Since White Flame Torrent works with Scorcher, the set bonus skill from Rathalos and Guardian Rathalos, I came up with a build with Scorcher second, which increases the additional 50 damage depending on the elemental hit zone value. In this chart you can see the flat damage you get on monsters' body parts. The weaker the monster to fire, the more damage you will deal with White Flame Torrent plus Scorcher second. On the weapon we use Razor Sharp Handicraft in the level 3 deco slot, and the rest is critical boost to reach level 3. The helm and arms are from Guardian Rathalos, the coil and legs are from Rathalos, and the chest from Shia. These are the decorations and these are the skills. It can be a valid build for monsters weak to both fire and dragon like Gormagala and Guardian Doshaguma, which have low hit zone values but good elemental hit zone values. On Gormagala, where weakness exploit is hard to proc, I recommend using Challenger 5 and weakness exploit 2. While on monsters where you can easily hit the weak points like Guardian Doshaguma, I recommend weakness exploit 5 and Challenger 2. Just swap the charm and the level 3 deco on the chest. Now let's see the general build I recommend using after Title Update 1. It uses the helm and chest from Shia, which gives Agitator 1 and 2 respectively. This skill is much easier to slot in now. While for the arms we have Guardian Rathalos Embraces that gives us weakness exploit 1 and 1 level 2 slot and 2 level 1. Lastly, on the coil and legs we use Gormagala pieces to have higher affinity by using his set bonus skill Black Eclipse first, which together with Antivirus give us a whole 25% affinity extra. The talisman is Counter-Strike 3. These are the decorations that you will need: 2 Challenger, 3 Mighty, 3 Sheath, 1 Counter-Attack, 1 Chain, and 2 Saint Jewels. These are the skills: Agitator 5, Counter-Strike 3, Maximum Might 3, Antivirus 3, Quick Sheet 3, Constitution 2, Adrenaline Rush 1, Weakness Exploit 1, Burst 1, Recovery Speed 1, and Flinch Free 1. It also includes 2 set bonus skill, Black Eclipse first and Shia's Pulse, and a group bonus skill, Guardian's Protection. Agitator gives us 20 attack and 15% affinity when a monster is enraged. Counter-Strike is 25 attack when we get knocked back or we use Hyper Armor on an attack that otherwise would have knocked us back. Maximum Might is 30% affinity when the stamina is max, and it is the cheapest way to get affinity so far since it's just a level 2 deco. Antivirus gives us 10% affinity after we overcome the Frenzy Virus, which we auto-inflict upon engaging a fight with a large monster thanks to Gore's set bonus skill. Quick Sheath is the only important skill that Longsword needs and makes the special sheath considerably faster. Constitution 2 is an extra skill and it's good for activating Maximum Might more easily. Adrenaline Rush gives us 10 attack when we time a Force Slash, Weakness Exploit is 5% affinity more on a weak point, Bars is plus 5 attack and 50 element as soon as we land an attack, and after 4 more hits we gain an additional 3 attack and 10 element. Recovery Speed is an extra skill, Flinch Free is also an extra skill and it's good for multiplayer, and finally the set bonus skills of Gormagala that make us contract the Frenzy Virus and give us 15% affinity after we overcome it, and Shia's, which as I said earlier, can be nice to recover some HP after receiving cheap damage. There's also the group skill Guardian's Protection, which reduces the damage while we are in the ruins of Wyveria. As you can notice, this time we didn't give much importance to Weakness Exploit because it is easier to slot in Agitator, thanks to the new Shia's pieces. Reaching 100% affinity would be too expensive, as we would have needed to sacrifice Counter-Strike 3, Adrenaline Rush, and 1 level of Agitator, and together these 3 skills give us 39 attack, which is more valuable than just 20% affinity. Since we cannot reach 100% affinity on this build, I recommend using Razor Sharp Handicraft on your Longsword to maintain the white sharpness as long as possible, and then, depending if you have an Arcane weapon or craftable one, use either Critical Boost 5 or 3 on the other slots. This build works great on every Longsword no matter their base affinity. Regarding the Mantle, Evasion Mantle now lasts 105 seconds, and I remember you that it grants 20% attack after a successful roll for 10 seconds. After the special evasion, you can do a Spirit Blade third. Unfortunately, it cannot be triggered by Force Slash. I don't personally recommend this Mantle for Longsword. The Corrupted Mantle got nerfed, now the additional hit has less attack power, the so-called motion value, and you get only plus 5% affinity immediately upon wearing the mantle, and an additional 5% affinity and 5% attack after you stop the health decrease. the mantle still lasts for 90 seconds. This mantle, even after the nerf, remains the best option if you are focused solely on damage. On the other side, if you want to play more comfy, you can use the Mending Mantle, which now lasts 80 seconds instead of 60, or the Rocksteady Mantle, which reduces the damage received by 60% instead of 30% now. Regarding the longsword motion values, they did not change, all the values remained untouched. If they will change any values in the future, I will make a video about it. Well, that's all from me today. I hope you enjoyed the video. In that case, please consider subscribing to the channel. Stay tuned for more videos coming in the next few days. And remember that if you want to see my Twitch VODs in high quality, I created a second channel where you have all the past streaming. Take care and see you in the next video. Bye!